Open VM-Tools versus VMware-Tools. What is the difference between the Open VM-Tools package and the tool that come with VMware S/SC? The wondering this because the ones from VMware are not compiled for anything but RPM and I use Debian. In the past I just compiled them on each machine as per VMware instructions. But there are a few things I was messing with, like a software called Untangle. And to avoid issues related to opening Untangle up to the vanilla repos, I was wanting to try a stab at the Open VM-Tools. Any help would be appreciated.
The VMware-Tools package that ships with VMware products contains both open source and closed source components. The Open VM-Tools packages is just the open source subset of the VMware-Tools package. In general, you can expect that Open VM-Tools will provide the same basic features that VMware-Tools does, but there may be a few extra things that VMware-Tools includes. Also, if your Linux distribution has a VMware-Tools package in its repositories, it is based on Open VM-Tools and not VMware-Tools. Update: earlier I was reluctant to be specific about what code was in Open VM-Tools versus VMware-Tools because the set changes. That's still true, but I found a list from the Open VM-Tools website, so I thought I would include that here. The Open VM-Tools fact says the following about what code it contains versus VMware-Tools. All of the non-experimental kernel modules and user-level applications that have been developed solely by VMware are being released. Certain experimental drivers are planned for future release. VMware will encourage third parties to release their contributions under the GPL. More specifically, drivers for devices and file systems access, memory ballooning, shared folders, drag and drop, text and file copy/paste, clipboard sharing, disk wiping and shrinking, time synchronization, automatic guest screen resolution resizing. Guest Info provides statistics about guest environment. Guest SDK provides information about the VM. Soft power operations. Multiple monitor support. GTK Toolbox UI. Again, this set changes over time. As new functionality is released via VMware-Tools, it may take some time for it to find its way to Open VM-Tools, or it may not make it there at all if VMware is unable to release it.
In recent versions of VMware, it recommends the use of Open VM-Tools. This is the this URL, which basically said, VMware recommends using Open VM-Tools redistributed by operating system vendors. This of course based on the compatibility guide. Modern Linux distros also includes VMware drivers directly in the kernel, and VMware recommends and support this drivers. VMware actively maintains the source code for VMware paravirtual drivers and kernel modules upstream in the mainline kernel.org tree for Linux. So you can feel safe using Open VM-Tools.